Hello, everyone. My name is Slappy Burger, and welcome back to my journeys through Minecraft. So, last episode, obviously, we built our big old mob grinder, and it's been working quite well. I'm gonna move away from that for now, just so I don't have zombies moaning freak style in my ear while I'm trying to talk. But yeah, welcome back. Um, Today, I don't really know what we're gonna do. Actually, I do know what we're going to do. We're going to do something we haven't done in a little while, and that is we're going to do a more slow, um, talking focused episode. But we're going to be mostly doing busy work. Um, in terms of what that busy work is, we're going to kind of get to it. But and kind of by get to it, I should say we're going to figure it out because I have a general idea of some stuff that needs to get done, but I could not tell you what all needs to be done. And there is a bit that needs to be done. There's a few things that I've been kind of putting off to the side. Um, but I don't know. We're just going to kind of get into this. I think we'll start by getting rid of that tree that's bugging me over here because it's standing all crooked like. Must have forgot a log just floating up there. Kind of, it's really, yeah, I forgot those two pieces of wood right there. So let's just get up there and get that. But yeah, it feels like it's been a little bit since I've actually played. Mostly because it kind of has been. I have been I've been a busy bee in real life. I've been a busy bee. I've been looking for places to move out to. Gonna start renting. Gonna put the rent ball and chain on and start living somewhere. And I've been working just pretty normal stuff for the most part, but on top of that, I've also been looking for another place to live, so I've been a little swamped. But on top of being, generally busy, I also did something extremely fun yesterday. So the day right before recording this, I was at a Metallica concert. Now, I'm not a big fan of Metallica. Thrash metal in general, I'm not a big fan of thrash metal. With that being said, Metallica was freaking fantastic. They had two openers. They had Ice Nine Kills, who I'm gonna be completely real with y'all. Ice Nine Kills is straight booty. They are actual buns. I do not like Ice Nine Kills. Feel free to clown on me if you do like Ice Nine Kills, but I could never get into them. I think they're extremely corny. They're using their talent for evil. And then the second opener, the guys that played right before Metallica, was Limp Bizkit, and that was a pretty amazing show. Fred Durst looks way different than he used to, but it's kind of impressive because he's up there in age, and yet he is still up there screaming and yelling and rapping and doing all that stuff that Limp Bizkit does to his heart's content. And then I'm actually going to be seeing Metallica again tomorrow night with Pantera and YouTube. Please do not clown on me for this. Suicidal Tendencies. Now those two bands, I really do like those two. Pantera, I like but don't know much about, whereas Suicidal Tendencies, absolutely adore those guys. Absolutely fantastic band. They are kind of masters of their craft. And before I go on too far and start just yapping, what I'm thinking I'm going to start with today for our busy work is getting a path laid out up around this hill, up onto the hill up there, because I want to start working on that village soon. I mentioned it a long time ago. I'm not going to forget about it. We are making a village up there. So we're just going to kind of dig a path out. But I'm going to see how that kind of sounds. Hopefully the block breaking isn't too loud while I'm talking. If it is, then Mega rest in peace. But I'm just gonna kind of dig a path. But yeah, I'm not like a huge Metallica fan, but I do listen to a lot of, I would say, metal and metal adjacent music. I more so listen to stuff that kind of falls into the hardcore category. Um, and by like hardcore, I like literally just mean hardcore, like the genre hardcore. Um, so like, I guess the biggest band of that vein of music is probably Hatebreed. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't really like Hatebreed either. But I listen to a lot of hardcore stuff. Go to a ton of concerts. Metallica is definitely the biggest concert I've ever done. They played up at the Broncos Stadium in Denver, and it sold out. Like 75,000 people showed up to that, and it sold out both nights. Like an absolutely insane number of people showed up to that. Which is just kind of crazy to me. Like, I've never been to a show that big. On average, I would say my normal, like, concert, like, I guess, I don't know, what's the word of that? Number of attendees is probably at most about 500 people. Like, I've definitely been to bigger concerts, but 500 people is usually the cap for what I'm normally going to. So going to such a large show is rather interesting. I've never seen that many people going to see a band live ever. So yeah, it was a really fun show though. It was a very incredible show, and they put on a great one, and gonna go see him again tomorrow. But yeah, like I said, hardcore is my big thing. I do listen to other genres of music. Something about me, about 65% of my personality is music. I love music across so many different genres. I'm not I'm genuinely the kind of person that you could put on anything and I'll probably find some merit to it. Now, that's not like 100% true, but to an extent, I would say I find some amount of merit in just about all kinds of music. And I mean that seriously. Like, I'll listen to noise music. If you don't know what noise music is, wow, what a what a genre of music. It is exactly what the name sounds like. It is basically just noises. But I love music. I listen to all sorts of genres of music. But yeah, I mostly, in terms of like concerts and stuff, I definitely mostly go to hardcore shows. There's a lot of local bands in my area, a lot of bands that play locally and are from, Denver, Colorado Springs, Pueblo, just in that general vicinity. And some of them are pretty good. Some of them not so good, but I gotta rep local bands, so I'll show up to them anyway. But yeah, I mostly go to hardcore shows. I would say my favorite hardcore band is a band called Drain out of California. Those guys absolutely shred. More of a punk sort of influence band than I would say like metal. There's two very like distinct types of hardcore. You got the more like punk hardcore, and then you have the more metal metallic hardcore. Definitely listen to more of the I would like overall I definitely listen to more of the metallic stuff. However, my favorite of them is definitely more on the punk end of things. Drain always puts on a killer show. I've only seen them once, but just the energy of their shows is absolutely crazy. And I'm not gonna lie, I low key I'd be crowd killing. And that's another thing. If you don't know what crowd killing is, then you should just look up like a crowd killing compilation. Maybe not representative of how hard I go, because I don't go like as crazy as some of those guys do. But I have partaken in a bit of crowd killing before. And this, so I guess I'm trying to think of like the best way to, we'll do something like this. And we'll kind of push this back right here, I suppose. Something like this. And all of this thing here will get filled in with cobblestone. Okay. Yeah, something like that. But where was I? Hardcore music. I listen to a lot of hardcore, go to a lot of shows. But I would say that probably, at least recently, my most listen to genre music is definitely gonna be anything in the goth vein. I don't dress it. I low key look like Joe Dirt, but I listen to a ton of goth music too. Sisters of Mercy are like my second favorite band of all time. Absolutely adore those guys. Um, but I listen to a lot of just like anything that falls into that like goth vein of music. More of the dark aesthetic post punk, the gothic rock stuff. So you have like Christian Death. Those guys apply to probably the gothic rock more than anything. And then you have like dark wave. A lot of bands in the dark wave vein. I would say I probably listen to dark wave more than the other two genres. Like other two, like I guess genres of goth. Um, got like Twin Tribes, Clan of Zymox, Boy Harsher, Raglan, just all sorts of bands that I listen to in the goth stuff. And I haven't really gone to many goth shows, mostly because there's not really a goth scene in Colorado, like at all. It's a very small one. And with that scene, there's not really much goth music makers either. Most of the music scene in Colorado, I would say, probably falls into the hardcore, electronic, or like the country sort of thing. There's a lot of local country bands out here. I mean, there's a lot of bands local to Colorado in general, but like Colorado as a whole is a very artistically driven state, whether it's through music or like whether it's through music or art. Very artistic state. There's a lot of art here, and music is one of the ways that people express that art. But in terms of like the actual like bands that are out here, most of them kind of, I would say, again, fall into either electronic, hardcore, or some sort of country or country derivative. I'm trying to think of where I want the path to end. We might just end it right here for now. And we'll come back with some gravel and fill all that in. Make some stairs for these. But I go to a ridiculous amount of shows. I can't even count how many shows I've been to. I go to like I would say at least every month I have a show or a concert I'm going to. And I know probably to some people that's like, oh honey, those are rookie numbers. You got to get those numbers up. But I say on average one per month just because there are some months where there's literally like 6 or 7 shows that I'll go to. Obviously my most recent show was the Metallica show that I went to last night, and again I'm going to another one in literally less than 24 hours at this point. But before that, my last show was a local band called Backflip, hardcore band. So imagine the word backflip, but minus the F. So just backflip. And they were doing like a charity thing for another hardcore member out here. I'm not gonna I don't know. I know there's probably like someone from Colorado, like maybe there's someone from Colorado watching this that like knows about those guys. He's like, who is this guy like talking about our local scene on freaking YouTube playing Minecraft, man? And to that I say, bro, that is like the easiest way to get our scene to grow is to like plug people in. So shut up. Like, get a life. Do something important with your life instead of like going online and complaining about something stupid like that. Because I see that happen. I'll see people like gatekeep their communities online. Like, I love hearing about like other scenes from other places because like, especially like the LA scene for hardcore or the Philly or the New York scene, Boston, those scenes have insane bands coming out of them. And if you're over there gatekeeping, like, that's how those bands get big, bro. Is through people finding out about them, and you're over there complaining about them getting popular. Like, all right, man. But yeah, I go to way too many shows. Maybe today we're just gonna talk about music. You guys are just gonna hear me talk about random music BS for like who knows how long. I'm not sure how long this episode's gonna be. Kind of thinking about it. I just have like some general busy work that needs to get done. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a video out of it. So I think we're we're just gonna for now get this path finished, and then maybe in work on cleaning up the mob farm room a little bit. You know what? I'm done jumping down there. Let's just find some places to put this stuff, and then we'll kind of fill it in as we go. Let's gravel there, do something like that. Put a gravel here. Some gravel there and there. Gravel here. And we'll do one there. I really like adding the gravel in. It's like a really, really easy way just to add some additional texture to your paths. I kind of talked about using smooth stone here and there, but, or not smooth stone, I'm sorry, mossy stone. But, I don't know. I kind of like it without the moss stone, I think. The moss stone, we need to keep that for something that's, like, stupid, I feel like. I feel like that's the only place that you can use the moss stone, at least for me. Because you kind of have to make it work with some of these textures, just how much it looks like boogers oozing out of a piece of stone. So, but yeah, I think that's probably a good good cobblestone to gravel ratio, gravel to cobblestone, something like that. And then we'll not do any gravel up here. Zen. But yeah, since I've been talking about music so much, my favorite band of all time is maybe a wild take, but it is a band called Oingo Boingo. If you don't know Oingo Boingo, that is Danny Elfman in the flesh. That was his thing before he started making orchestras, and to an extent while he was making orchestral music scores. The guy who voices Jack Skellington is their vocalist. Lots and lots of soundtracks have been made by him. Like, I think he did multiple Marvel soundtracks. He may have done, I think he did, like, Mr. Peabody and Sherman's, like, soundtrack. I think he did Avengers Age of Ultron. He did, I know for certain that he did, The Nightmare Before Christmas, but I think he's done some other, Tim Burton films. He did, Beetlejuice. I think he did the new one too. So he did the original and the new Beetlejuice. Just all sorts of, so many music scores. Danny Elfman is kind of a musical genius. Although, I will say he kind of bugs me to the end of time. He is low-key. He's kind of a butthole. I'm not gonna lie. He's kind of he's kind of mean. He kind of just like does what he thinks is like best for himself, and then kind of like puts himself first. I mean, to an extent, you know, you got to do that sometimes, but Danny Elfman, the way he does it, it's almost like selfish. Oingo Boingo as a band is unfortunately broken up. They broke up back in 1995. When Danny Elfman decided to move on with other things, which obviously, you know, moving on to other things is important. And I'm going to walk along this just to make sure I like the gravel placement and how the path looks, which I think for the most part, I like it. Kind of straightens out over here and gets a little more rigid, but it's fine. But yeah, he just kind of pushes Oingo Boingo aside. If you ever bring up Oingo Boingo around him now, he's just like, I'm done with that. It's never coming back. Even if you're asking him a question like, what was your musical direction then? Like, it's just like, what's your musical direction then? Doesn't matter. I'm doing new things now. Come see me at Coachella, play Oingo Boingo songs, but without the original members. Okay, bro. It's kind of funny. Oingo Boingo has their own like side band now that's called Oingo Boingo Former Band Members. And it is all of their original members except for like two of them, Danny Elfman and it might be Buggo? Maybe? I don't know. I don't remember exactly, but one of the more like minor guys in the band is unfortunately not around to do them either. I think as next part of my busy work, I'm just going to clear out all these mushrooms because it's starting to get a little excessive. Yeah, maybe, I really do need to make a mushroom farm at some point. But, But yeah, Oingo Boingo is my favorite. My favorite album by them is definitely their last album, Boingo '94. Um, it is a total 180 of what they normally do musically, or at least what they did musically, I should say. Um, they went from like a new wave ska sort of thing to a pretty much just a hard turn into like straight alternative rock. But you can see the beginnings of Danny Elfman's like orchestral careers in it. There's a lot of like the first song on the album, Insanity, like half of it is literally just like an orchestral score, and it has like all sorts of like drums and like horns and stuff like that in it. Um, Incredible song, but that album is super emotional, has a ton of meaning behind it. And I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't think I've ever related to an album more in my life. Absolutely fantastic album, 10 out of 10, favorite album of all time by my favorite band ever. And yeah, just an amazing band. And then, like I said earlier, Sisters of Mercy are probably my second favorite band of all time. Um, Incredible sounds from those guys. Every album is like a different experience. Andrew Eldritch, the vocalist for the Sisters of Mercy, he's kind of a goofball. Um, now that I'm thinking about it, a lot of my like top bands just have like really mean like frontmen, and I'm not sure why that is. But yeah, Andrew Eldritch, he's the vocalist for the Sisters of Mercy, and I saw the Sisters of Mercy last year on my 22nd birthday. That was a rather amazing show. Like probably my second favorite show that I've ever been to was that one. And it kind of blew me away. Now, none of the other original members from the Sisters of Mercy are still around in the band as far as I'm aware. Although Andrew Eldritch is, and now he has like all these like young, I say young, but you probably say younger. And I'm actually, like I said earlier, I'm just going to turn that down all the way because I'm not trying to have these guys moaning in my ears the entire time. We'll let this thing kill off what it's gathered. Yep. Any more? Oh my god. How many are in there? How many we got in here? Okay, you know what? Y'all just keep having fun over there. Just realized, came in here without like any blocks to actually fill this thing in. What's in here? Oh, wonderful. You know what? There's more busy work for us. Things to organize and clean up. But yeah, where was I? Andrew Eldritch being a butthead. Yeah, Andrew Eldritch, kind of a big doo-doo head. He so the Sisters of Mercy, they kind of were one of the bands that helped like define the goth music sort of sound and the goth aesthetic. Um Bauhaus kicked it off. I would say Susie and the Banshees refined it, and then Sisters of Mercy made it more like mainstream and in the open eyes. That's probably there's probably like some old head goth guy out there that if I said that to, he would just like put my head on a spike. But in my honest opinion, that's kind of how I guess the cookie crumbles or something. I don't know. I'm bad with sayings. But yeah, in general, I would say that's how it is. Bauhaus started it for sure. For sure, Bauhaus started it. And then Susie and the Banshee sort of refined it, whereas the Sisters of Mercies put it on the map. And every single album by them is just like a different sound. So you have I'm drawing a blank on their first one. Oh my gosh. Is it Black Planet? Is that the name of it? Is Black Planet? It might be. Or it might be like Forever and Always. I don't remember. I know Black Planet's a song on it, but before I lose my mind trying to remember that, um, they dropped their first album, very like post-punk, like super baritone singing, lots of interesting sounds that you don't normally hear in music, and just an all-around fantastic album. Then you have their second album, which is probably my second favorite album of all time, the Floodland album. Um, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, perfect. So this is a 12 by 12. Good. Yeah, basically Floodland, second favorite album of all time. My personal favorite by the Sisters of Mercy. Absolutely fantastic album. Uh, I think that's where the sort of like defining the sound sort of thing really begins. It's a very upbeat, but also this baritone voice and minor notes and just super like a dark aesthetic album, but it still just has like an amazing sound. And what is going on right now? Do I have the piston activated? I might do. I might have activated it. Yep, I did. Everyone get in there. Um, and then you have their third album. Now, their third album is, for the most part, the album that like people don't like the most. And this is also where you start to get into mean Andrew Eldritch era. That is their album Vision Thing. Now, Vision Thing, personally, I'm a big fan. I like Vision Thing. I know there's and again, like if there was like an old goth guy that watched this, he'd probably be like, Vision Thing was the worst thing that the Sisters of Mercy could have ever put out, and is absolutely terrible, and you should never say that. But I really like it. It is a complete, I don't want to say a complete pivot, but it is a pretty strong pivot from their normal sound. It is a new wave album where they're normally making like post punk. It is a basically a new wave album, and it in my opinion, it is a good freaking album. Okay, like I really think that that album is a good one. And before I keep yapping again, I'm thinking wooden floor, some sort of sandstone around the walls, ceiling wood again, and then we'll figure out some places for glowstone. But yeah, I mean, that album, in my opinion, is really good. However, you had a massive like shift in like mentality from Andrew Eldritch, I guess is one way of putting it, maybe. I don't really know how to describe it beyond that, but Andrew Eldritch had gotten a big following from the now, like, I guess, emerging goth scene. At that point, it may have been like established. I would say it's probably more established than emerging at the point of Vision Thing. But it like, he just went full like, we are not goth. Now, there's a lot of bands that are like, oh, we're not goth. But like everyone's like, you're goth. Like The Cure. Like The Cure is a massive goth band. Um, Absolutely huge. Like a lot of people don't know that, don't really consider them goth. They don't consider themselves goth, but they're a pretty big goth band. And but everyone in the band is like, we're not goth. Sisters of Mercy never really, like, I don't want to say explicitly stated that they weren't goth, but the man Andrew Eldritch is up there singing in like insanely low baritone voices, writing songs that are like almost like Edgar Allan Poe poems, like super romantic but also kind of grim. And the man has the audacity to say, "Yeah, we're not goth." To which all the fans were like, "Yeah, you are," and he's like, "No, we're not." And as a result from that, um, we have this like Andrew Eldritch becomes evil sort of thing happen where he just like started doing like really kind of bad things to other bands. Um, One of the like more notable ones is when he like there was I don't remember the name of the band, but they went on tour and that band like called themselves a goth band. And Andrew Eldritch was like, "Oh, you think you're goth? Yeah, you're not touring with us." And then just kicked them off the entire tour just because they said they were goth. And that made a lot of people rather upset, especially that band, because that band was not like a massive band. And they're still not a massive band. I don't even remember the name of them. Um, you know, maybe out of like disrespect towards Andrew Eldritch, I should just go listen to that band. But oh yeah, if I walk into this, I just get flung back because of the amount of mobs that are in there. So that's kind of funny. But yeah, Andrew Eldritch did that, and then he kind of just like became a stinky butt. And then after that, we have their last album, and in my opinion, is their weakest album. Um, that is Some Girls Wander by Mistake. However, that album is also where their most popular song, um, the Temple of Love, comes from. And people, it is a good song. I think it deserves its title of the most popular Sisters of Mercy song. However, I do not think that that album is their best. It's a lot more, I don't even know, like rocky, I guess, but it's still Sisters of Mercy. It's kind of hard to describe it. That's like genuinely the best way I can describe that album. It's just like super rocky, but also still like Sisters of Mercy. Um, like I don't really have much to say about that album. I'm not a big fan of it. It is still like it's a good album, but it's like I could not tell you a single thing about it, you know? Like genuinely I could not tell you anything about that album. And besides that fact that Temple of Love is on it. And I just don't like it. I'm just not a big fan of it. But I do kind of like it because it's Sisters of Mercy. I have a love-hate relationship with that album. But yeah, Andrew Eldritch just kind of became like a mega butthole at some point through his career about like the whole goth thing. I mean, the man like helped define the genre, dude. Like you're one of like if you were to ask me what the big three goth bands are, Sisters of Mercy, Bauhaus, and Susie and the Banshees, okay? Like those are the big three. And this dude is quite possibly the big like the biggest like doo-doo head on the planet because he's scared of being labeled as goth. Beyond like Oingo Boingo and Sisters of Mercy though, I would say probably my third favorite artist is a band called Primus. Primus sucks. You know, you know. Primus sucks. They were like I would say they're probably the band that really got me into music in the first place just because they're so eclectic. Such an amazing eclectic band. Um every time I listen to them it's just like I think I hear something new in it. Like every single song is just like a new sort of just like almost like journey. Even if I've already listened to all their stuff, it's like a new experience every time. And it looks like I need a lot more sand. So we're gonna add that to the list of busy work while I yap. I need to get more diamonds. Jeez. Oh, I didn't mention it, but you can if you do remember how big this was the last time we were here, I think it cut off like here originally, this chest room. Made it a lot bigger when we were like after I made the last I think it was the last base expansion video. But um yeah, Primus, what a band. Made by founded by the also incredible bassist Les Claypool. Um that man is absolutely incredible. Absolutely love Les Claypool and what he does. Um Probably the bassist, you know, like the bassist of all time is Les Claypool. He just like the best way I can describe Primus without like having to use big words and oddly specific details is probably imagine swapping the roles of the guitar and the bass and then adding like insane lyrics that make no sense for the most part and like weird vocals. That is probably like genuinely the best way I can describe what's going on down here. That's probably the best way I can describe Primus is something like that. So get out of here. But yeah, that band I would say probably kind of like solidified my like taste in music for the most part. Like that album, I say that album, all of their albums just kind of like help define my taste in music. I saw them once, and that was when they opened for Slayer during their like 46th, like, you know, like 46th, we're done farewell tour. That was an amazing show. Ministry and Pantera were there too. Crazy wild show. But I was there for Primus. That happened back in like 2017. It's been, I guess, what is that, 8 years now? Crazy to think about. So I was like 14, 15 going to that. Jeez, man. Jeez, times flies. But yeah, Primus is incredible. I've seen, and on top of that, Les Claypool does a lot of like musical side projects. Like he like, and they have like crazy names too. Like, so you have Colonel Les Claypool's Fearless Flying Frog Brigade. That's probably my favorite of the side projects. Probably not. My favorite is probably the Claypool Linen Delirium, but um, Colonel Les Claypool's Frog Brigade, they do like covers of like just like prog rock and stuff. Like they'll go up there and do like King Crimson covers. But it's like with like a Primus flair, and it's super crazy and super insane to listen to. Les Claypool is super influenced by a lot of like prog rock and stuff. Some of the other like side projects include the Claypool Linen Delirium, which I just mentioned. That project is maybe my second favorite of them all. That one is Sean Lennon. So John Lennon's son is the guitarist for that, and he does some of the vocals for it too. Really amazing project, super trippy. I don't really know how much sand I need. Is it 4-1? Ah, geez. So this is only 64 blocks of sandstone. Jeez. I don't really want to level this whole desert. I'm still sticking by my rule that I can't go too far over that way. But, oh, I already had 10 sandstone. I got really confused about that for a second. But yeah, the Claypool Linen Delirium, super trippy stuff. And then he has like some other projects, some that I haven't really listened to. He has solo works with by himself just under Les Claypool, but like I know another one is like Les Claypool's Bucket of Bernie Brains, which has like Buckethead and all sorts of like interesting, weird bands on there. And we could just maybe like terraform this whole thing. I don't know. This means there was exposed sandstone here. Weird. But yeah, absolutely adore Primus. I think my favorite album by them is probably their 2011 album, Green Naugahyde. Followed up by Sailing the Seas of Cheese, and then maybe Antipop. I don't know. I'm getting like really autistic about like Primus right now. Primus has been a band I adore those guys. I play the bass simply because I heard Les Claypool. Now, I'm not good at it. I absolutely suck at playing the bass. But I am learning to play the bass because I like Les Claypool and Primus so much. Little fun fact about Les Claypool. Back when Cliff Burton of Metallica died, they started auditioning for a new bassist. And Les Claypool auditioned, believe it or not. And I want to say that was before Primus, but Les Claypool auditioned, and he was so good that they rejected him. Like, he was so good that they said, man, you are not playing for us. So they turned him down. Which I just think that's crazy. Like, just seeing, like, the guys who, like, the biggest metal band of all time being like, yeah, man, you're too good. Like, that's just kind of crazy. At least to me. Maybe not to you guys, but that is crazy to me. But yeah, I absolutely adore music. It is a huge part of my life. I'm almost always listening to music. Whenever I'm playing Minecraft off camera, this little bar goes to 0, and I start playing whatever I want to listen to. But yeah, it's music is a big piece of my life. It's always been a big piece of my life. Maybe I should start, a while back I did like an intro where I was like, hello everyone, and a double hello to Sisters of Mercy fans. Maybe like every episode I should just like be like, hello everyone, and a double hello to like insert random band that no one's ever thought of in the last like 20 years with like a really like low quality PNG of like an album of theirs or something. Like next episode, y'all getting hit with like a Chumbawamba like PNG, and me saying and hello and a double hello to the 4 people that listen to Chumbawamba, and a triple hello to the people that know more Chumbawamba songs than just Tub Thumping. But I don't know. Maybe I should. Maybe I shouldn't. It's a random thought that crossed my mind while I was getting extra autistic about my personal interests. Wow, this video is already 45 minutes long, and I have done absolutely nothing. That is incredible. Love that. Y'all just listen to me talk today and get like 3 things done. See, this is kind of cool, honestly, like thinking about it, because it kind of shows you just how slow I play Minecraft. Like I've been recording for almost 40 minutes now, and I have made a path and dug out 2 walls and put a floor in. That is it. um, Gosh, I really do play this game slow, but I've said it many times before. Pacing, I am learning to pace myself by doing this series. It doesn't force me to play the game too fast. It allows me to do it at just the right speed. And then we need 3. Right? Yeah, so 1, 2. So the other pillar needs to go here with a 2-block section in between. Find this out because we're going to put sandstone in there. And we're going to mute these guys again because that's going to bug me to the end of time. And we'll put these logs in. But yeah, it really does help me pace and kind of take it slowly, because I always play the game in such a way that I get burnt out of it like super fast. And it always kind of bugs me because I always feel like I can do more with the world. And this series is making me kind of forcing me to pace myself in a way that I don't just burn myself out with Minecraft in a week. Like I play, I guess, overall like slightly less, like maybe slightly less, but I feel like I'm getting more done and getting more things that I want to do done, rather than just like doing nothing and like for like a week and then getting tired of it. And I guess by like getting nothing, I mean like powering through the tools, getting the best items, um, stuff like that. And then I guess we might need to go up 1 more on the roof, huh? Well, actually, we'll just install the roof up there. We'll do a 3 tall room. And we'll move this stuff out in a minute. I need to probably do that off camera, but let's see. Stuff installed. I don't think this will be enough for it, unfortunately, but it's better to start somewhere. I could have sworn it gave you more sandstone when you crafted it, but maybe that was something from the future. Like a future version added it where you get 4 from, like, 4 sand becomes 4 sandstone. I don't know. I'm not going to confuse myself, but I'm kind of happy that I'm starting to include sandstone in these builds, because it really did. I low-key forgot that sandstone existed. Like, I really did. And it looks super nice. Like, it has a really nice contrast. It fits with the wood, though. It's not, like, super jarring. And it's just kind of nice. I see a lot of creepers down there. It's good. That is good for us. Unfortunately, sandstone stairs are definitely not in the game yet. So that is most unfortunate, because that would make this look just all the better. So I think we'll settle on wooden stairs for down there. I don't really know what I want the design down there to be. This video's already, like I said, this video's at, the recording says 44 minutes, but I did like spend like a couple of seconds recording just like staring at a wall to like make sure things were operating properly. So, that's probably part of the recording length, but I'm not really going to cut this video at all on YouTube. Maybe like, like, I don't know, maybe add something here or there, but I'm not really going to cut this one because I'm just talking. And it's been, like I said, it's been a while since we've done one where we're just like yapping about stuff on camera. And I guess I did have enough for the walls. Let's see. I want to make sure that all the torches are symmetrical. All to face each other, kind of like that. Yep. Everything looks good here. So now let's get that ceiling in. I guess gonna have to work around our glass contraption here. Um, but yeah, I think I'm gonna get this ceiling put in, and then I'm just gonna like probably cut it there for a mix of reasons. For one, um, I'm running out of things to talk about. I just talked about music for like so long that I kind of forgot that I might have other things to talk about, and whatever they are they're gone. They're lost to time. And then on the other hand, it is about 1:30 in the morning, and I need to wake up early and get some stuff done before I have to drive all the way up to Denver for that concert for Metallica again. Which, believe me, when I get back on that next episode, y'all gonna be hearing about that show because Suicidal Tendencies, big time band for me. So just go ahead and prepare yourself for that. Two, and I think this will look good just with the wood ceiling. And honestly, I'm kind of looking at it. I think the torches work fine. I don't think we need any glowstone in here. Kind of maybe need to break these torches in the middle of the room just so we can see how the lighting is. Like if hostile mobs start spawning in here because it's not dark enough, you're gonna see me tweak. So let's get rid of these guys, I guess. It's so fun to do. Just realized we're gonna have to like hopefully we're not really break the glass, but I'd rather this interior piece also kind of match the general aesthetic out there, like maybe make them drop into sandstone or something. I don't know. But gosh, this thing really does produce just like a ton of loot. Like I said it a lot last episode when we were experimenting with the kill mechanism, but it that thing puts in the effort. Like already, we got more stuff spawning down there. Nighttime, yeah, that might slow it down a bit, but it still goes relatively crazy even when it's nighttime. Although it does, I have noticed since building it, it does kind of take like sometimes it'll like go through these like weird lulls where there's just like nothing spawning at all, and then suddenly everything will spawn all at once, even if it's daytime or something. Like I'm not sure what that's about. Maybe the game can't really like keep up with the amount of mobs it's trying to spawn or something. I don't know, but I have noticed that before. Go ahead and that's right. Install the roof up here. Can I reach that? Nope. There we go. Let's fill this in. I think just the wood ceiling will be fine. The glass will work around it. I want to be able to see them doing stuff. Mostly because I want to be able to see if my machine's working, but because they're like whenever I do, like I said, whenever I and by like I said, I mean like I said last episode, I am not good at getting things working. So the fact that all of this up here works besides what's going on down there because I followed a schematic is a momentous occasion for me, okay? Massive occasion. Things do not work for me usually. Let's get these torches broken just so we can see. It's too dark. And no, actually, I think this is perfectly fine. I think we'll work on this room down here later because we are creeping up on a 50-minute video here. But yeah, I really like this little addition here, just being able to look through the floor and see that there's 4 creepers down there. And yeah, like I said, in my last episode, I have been just like standing here with F3 on, just watching this thing. It's kind of nice to see that it's filling up with me not being directly next to it, though. So that is good. So they are spawning and doing their thing in here without me being directly on top of it. So that means that busy work can be done, and this thing can still be running. So that's very good. So, and now that we have gunpowder coming from this, the next episode should hopefully be more of a breeze. I think the next episode is going to be a mushroom farm, but I want it to be like a cool mushroom farm, like awesome swag sauce, like certified certified whatever Gen Alpha brain rot things say people say nowadays. Yeah, we got our path going over there. Now this sign actually points to something. And then yeah, I think I'm gonna cut this episode here. Just because I am very tired, but I wanted to record a bit of busy work. Because like I said, I'm gonna hold that thought. But it does take me a while to get stuff done in this world. Just because I play slowly. And even the slow stuff that isn't very much feels nice. Like it took me maybe maybe 4 hours to do all of this down here and that combined. Took me who knows how long to work on the base. It just takes me a long time to do stuff. And I'm going to be honest, I think that's okay. And I hope you guys feel the same. But what I was going to say before I talk about that was I have said like, and like I said, it feels like about 15,000 times this episode, but I'm gonna, like I said earlier, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video here. Thank you all so much for watching, and a double thank you if you made it this far. Once again, my name is Slappy Burger, and I hope you have a blessed evening.